Hey friends, welcome to this week's edition of Thought Work Thursday. This was inspired by little Selena Gomez. My mind and me, we don't get along sometimes, you and most humans. So today I want to help you play well with your mind. I'm going to give you 3 simple steps to get you started. Step 1 is to understand it. Okay. Our brains have upwards of 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are negative, and 90% of those 80% negative thoughts are recycled. Like our brains aren't even interesting enough to come up with new negative stuff. It's just recycling all the old stuff. So step 1, understand it. It's helpful to remember that your brain is wired to keep you safe. And so a negativity bias works well for that. It works well for survival. Think about this. If your ancestors saw a shaking bush and they're like, you know what? That's probably just the wind. They died. They were eaten by the bear that was shaking the bush. Okay. So starting to play with your mind means understand how it's wired. Understand that it thinks it's being helpful and useful with its nonstop negativity. So it's not a problem. When your brain is offering up all that stinking thinking, it's not a problem. You can just acknowledge it and say oh yeah, my brain thinks it's being helpful. It's just doing its thing. I like to think of our brains as thought generating machines. That's what it's doing. It's generating thoughts and it's wired to keep me alive. So it's going to keep offering up fear-based thoughts, second-guessing thoughts, the negative Nancy thoughts. That's just its job. And my job as the watcher and observer of my mind, my job is to supervise it. I get to supervise my mind. I get to decide when those thoughts are needed or not. Okay. So that brings us to step 2. You're going to supervise it, and then you're going to sort and sift. You're going to supervise your mind. You're going to watch what it's offering up, and then you're going to get to sort and sift out what's useful, what's not useful. When it's saying, oh my gosh, people are going to judge me and it's going to think this, and I'm going to fall on my face and I'm going to fail. You're going to pay attention and just decide, what if that is just my brain thinking that it's being helpful and it's going to try to keep me alive and try to prevent me from having some non-physically threatening threat of being judged, right? You can say those thoughts aren't actually necessary right now. And sometimes they're going to be, but that's why you're going to supervise it and sort and sift. Just pay attention to when those quote unquote negative thoughts are useful and needed, and when it's just your brain using its survival mechanisms when it's gone rogue. Okay. So that's step 2, sort, supervise, sift, all of that. Step 3 of partnering well with your brain is to direct it. You get to direct your mind. You're supervising it and you can go, hey brain, I see you spitting out a lot of things on the negative side of this option. Now tell me what's good about it. Tell me what's right about it. Tell me why this option works. What about this makes sense? Again, your brain is a thought generating machine. So if you direct it to give you reasons why a yes is possible, it will do just that. Okay. So that's what I have for you today. 3 steps to playing well with your mind. Understand it, supervise it, direct it. All right, tune in for next week. I'll have something new for you guys. Take care.